Charlemagne can't stop taking an L. Here's another one.
Hey, this is what I want. Put it like this. America, just treat black people like they're F-35 fighter jets. You had $1.7 trillion to throw at that bullshit. Throw it at the people who actually built this country. But I don't see how anybody can dispute that.
But again, you didn't build this country.
Too many guys on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help.
So what?
For you personally, this.
So what? I'm just saying.
But I'm saying we can't write a check to a ghost. You know.
Why not?
Come on, Charlemagne. God damn.
These tokens are unreal. There's nothing like them, and that's a good thing. These tokens do the work, and they do the work happily for white supremacy. Their job is simple. Tell the people what they want to hear while looking like the people they despise. It's a perfect cover. They can hide behind you while you say things they like. You know, there was a time not too long ago where they would get white people to dress up like black people and say and do things to entertain those white people. They would use blackface. And these blackface performances had not only the goal of entertaining, but also contributing to the normalization of racist attitudes, behaviors, and thought. They did that by literally putting a blackface on it. Those days are long gone. Now they get actual black people, like the Officer Tatum, to play that part. And he does a great job. He smiles, he giggles, he entertains, and he normalizes their talking points. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Let's move on. Okay, so the video talks about reparations. Obviously, the token thinks having a government be held responsible for allowing the brutal structure of race-based chattel slavery under the system of white supremacy is pretty damn funny. I don't personally see the funny part in that, but I don't do his job. The video speaks for itself, but I want to point you to one of the comments. This was a comment that got a lot of likes and replies on this video. So the comment reads, "Why do people who were never slaves think people who never owned slaves owe them money?" Like I said before, and at the risk of sounding redundant, I'll say it again. Some people just aren't nuanced. It seems, and this is just a personal observation, that they're normally the ones that espouse white supremacist talking points, but I'm sure that's just a coincidence. They only seem to understand simple concepts. If the concept gets too difficult, they won't get it. So in this case, the person thinks, why would anyone who never were slaves get any money from the people who never owned slaves? See, that's simple. A simple concept that anyone can understand. Again, it's easier to understand and move on with life if you're not nuanced. If you are nuanced, then that simplicity isn't enough with this topic. Here's a saying that can help the nuanced challenge in understanding this part. It may not be our fault, but it's our responsibility. I'll give you an example of what I mean. When a police officer violates the rights of a citizen and that citizen sues a jurisdiction where the officer is employed, who do you think pays a settlement to that citizen? Now, you or I didn't violate that person's rights. We weren't working as police officers. In fact, we had absolutely nothing to do with the violation that led to a lawsuit. However, we are responsible for paying that settlement through our taxes. The reason for that is simple, because we as citizens are responsible for the past actions, the current actions, and the future actions of our government. Got it? Well, good. Let's move on to this part then. Since the government, and that government, which is still around today, permitted a system based on white supremacy, the government is culpable for the results of that system. That system birthed race-based chattel slavery. That system birthed Jim Crow laws. That system birthed black codes and other laws, standards, or practices that targeted black people, and the results of which are still felt today. Furthermore, slavery is just one part of the depravity of that system. People seem to think it's the whole, and it's only a part. The system didn't go away when race-based chattel slavery was ended. After race-based chattel slavery ended, that's when the black codes, the Jim Crow laws, the practice of redlining, convict leasing programs, the vagrancy laws, practice of debt peonage, chain gangs, that's when that started. All disproportionately affecting black people. Now, Because of this, victims of that system can file a grievance against the government that legalized that system. That grievance can result and should result in reparations, or the repairing of a wrongdoing. So as you can see, you don't have to write a check to a ghost to find the people the system is responsible for harming.